Okay, right now we're looking at the home screen. This is the screen if you're not in any menus, and it has lots of shortcuts to other functions. Okay, I'm going to kind of point some of those out to you. You see the little airplane sitting here? Well, here's a timer running to the left. If I select that timer, it takes me to a screen that allows me to set the date and time. It'll allow me to reset the battery time right here, reset the model time. The battery time actually resets each time you charge, but you can do it yourself if you're curious about your battery transition times. I'm going to go back. So we use this little timer to get to that screen. The next little shortcut that's sitting on this screen is the model select screen. M1 is our model number. If I touch it, it takes us to the model select screen that we saw in the previous demo, and you can pick your model as necessary. When you pick a model, highlight it so it's blue and press select. It will say change model, and it'll say yes. And we're back to the home screen. And now when I did change models, it asked me to see if I wanted to set the bind the receiver. I'm going to press set to get out of here, and then I'm going to hit back because I don't want to do it right now. The next little hidden button on this screen is right here in the name of the model. So let's say that you copied a model from, say, model number 1 to model number 2 because you liked all the settings. And this is how you'd go back in and change the name. So the new model, the model name currently is test. I'm going to call this one new. And press equals to put it in the new model name and hit back. So we were able to change the name of the model without going through the other menu system. In addition to those shortcuts, there is a shortcut up here on the top. It would allow us to go to the model set on the RF or to turn RF on and off. Right now we don't have a receiver bound, so it just takes us to the set screen. Over here we see phase 1. Phases are flight modes or Q links, they were called at one time. Phases allow us to save different settings for the same aircraft. So you could say have a launch setting which has your elevator and rudder trimmed out in one condition, a cruise setting which might be different, and then maybe a landing setting which might be different. So you could have different trims and different functions with each one of those phases, and you can name the phases. We'll go over this later on. On the screen up in the top right corner, you can see the battery indicator. If you touch the battery indicator, it takes you to a screen that shows you the transmitter voltage and the calibration data. Theoretically, if you were if you'd like, you can go ahead and put a voltmeter into the system with a Y and actually dial in this number to create the same thing as on your voltmeter. Okay, now the other really cool part about the shortcuts on this screen is this one right up here. You see the little lock? Watch when I touch it. It turns blue and it locks the lock. Now, nothing on the screen works. Okay? You'd be surprised how many people have called me and said, my screen doesn't work anymore. Can I send in my transmitter? Actually, they've just locked it, and in order to unlock the screen, you use two buttons simultaneously. The escape button on the left, the enter button on the right. So if I hold them, the screen is unlocked, and now we can look at whatever we want to look at. Okay, now there's another couple hidden functions going on in here. See the MZ in the middle of the screen? If you touch the MZ, it takes you to a screen that tells you your transmitter voltage, your receiver voltage, the strength from coming back from the receiver, and if you had an ESC with telemetry, you would get the ESC information here too. We currently have nothing bound, so we've got a red signal there. Now there is another really cool shortcut, and that is this one right here. See these two bars that indicate the trimmers? If you touch the center of those, it takes us to a screen that allows you to see all the linear trims. So if I turn the knob up here on the right, you can see it go up and down, okay? If I put the slider on here on the left, you can see the slider. So all of your linear devices can be seen here and see if they're working. Hit back. Okay, one more little thing I'd like to point out, and that's this really cool timer setup. Timer 1 is on the top, timer 2 is on the bottom. These are also shortcuts. If you touch the timer like that, that would cause a reset. If you touch and hold the timer, it takes you to the timer setup screen. We'll cover timer settings in a later date. And that pretty much covers the home screen and the shortcuts for now. Thank you. Have a good day.